revision allows you to free yourself of this one limited past where you have that limited now moment and you have that limited future, okay? All right, guys. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you for being here, tuning in, trusting me as a coach, as somebody that you would enjoy hearing their perspective. Today's topic is going to be revision, okay? And I want to talk about revision because I feel like revision is commonly something that a lot of us kind of try to stay away from. We hear a lot about revision, but then at the end of the day, we are like, how am I going to revise that breakup or the job not like letting me go or whatever the situation or the circumstances are? We're genuinely like, how is it that I am able to change that past, okay? So what revision technically is taught as with Neville Goddard is that we are going within our imagination and we are imagining the desired outcome that we wanted to have happened, and we're saying that the other outcome never happened, okay? And I had a little quote that I wanted to read from this book. I reference this book a lot because I believe that it has a lot of valuable insights. It's a book on reflections and oneness, identity, and the creation of experience. So this is basically a lot of the things that I teach my clients when I work with you guys. So I have this quick little quote that I wanted to read, and it says, although we may believe that our future is determined by what we do now, the future is actually born from our attachment to past experience. When we forgive the events of our past, we also release the subtle necessity of creating future opportunities for their reenactment. And all that remains for us then is an eternal present. Okay? So, although we may believe that our future is determined by what we do now, our future is actually born from our attachment of past experience or to past experience. And when we forgive the events of our past, we also release the subtle necessity of creating future opportunities of their reenactment. Okay? I want you to hold on to that. And all that remains for us is an eternal present. So this is why we talk a lot about the now moment, okay? Number one, when we are in the now moment, being very present, I'm not thinking about what's for dinner later. I'm not thinking about something that happened yesterday. I'm being present right now. And you might be asking, okay, why are we talking about this when we're talking about revision? And one of the main questions about revision is, why should I revise? When should I revise? Okay, and this is a foundation. This is a core foundation concept that I want us to get into our head. That, again, I will read it one more time. Page 32. Okay, although we may believe that our future is determined by what we do now, the future is actually born from our attachment to past experience. When we forgive the events of our past, we also release the subtle necessity of creating future opportunities for their reenactment. And all that remains for us is an eternal present. So we revise when we have these subtle necessities and these attachments to the past of things must be happening this way because things happened like this before. Okay, and in this little quote right here, it literally says we release the necessity of creating future opportunities for their reenactment. Okay, so when we hold on to those moments, right now, if all we have is the eternal present, the eternal now moment, and we keep going back into our past through our very powerful, very infinite source, the thing that allows us to, kind of select whatever it is that we want to experience, if we keep using that divine power within us to go back into the past and recreate that experience in the eternal now moment, Instead of being present, or instead of being in our new story, we're living in the old story within our mind. We're going back and forth like, no, like I'm being ghosted because he did this before, they did this before, and they did this because of this, and because this happened. And we keep going back into the past, and we are basically co-signing the reenactment of that happening in our eternal now moment. Do you see what I'm saying? If the past can only exist in your mind, because it's not here anymore. The only thing we have is this now moment. But when we keep using that internal infinite power within us to keep reenacting, copying and pasting that old memory into our new now moment, that's when we kind of face a lot of these, okay, but this keeps happening, and this popped up, and this happened, okay? So that's why we're talking about revision today. We're getting into revision because it frees you. It allows you to forgive not only this person, this experience, this circumstance, but yourself of that feeling and that outcome. And it allows you to experience this new desired outcome that we're going for, right? And this is super powerful. So I want you guys to kind of stay locked in here, right? How do you revise? And so this is where our biggest internal blockage, and I don't even like using that word. So regardless, we're slaughtering that blockage, we're slaughtering that limitation. Those things don't exist anymore. So for me, when I was learning revision, I was like, I can't revise that. That was like, it literally already happened. I experienced it, I felt it, it was so real. And like people were just saying, you know, just affirm it never happened, just affirm this, just affirm that. And I was like not getting it, because I would sit there and be like, this never happened, I never got broken up with, this never happened, I've always been rich, blah, blah, blah. Whatever it was, okay? I would robotically affirm, and I'd sit there and wait and wait and wait and wonder where the changes were and how that would show up in my now moment, because I just revised it. I just did what they told me to do. And my logical mind was like, no girl, like that just still happened. That just still happened, okay? So you're gonna have to accept the fact that that just still happened. And for me, when I tapped into the infiniteness that I already knew existed, but just couldn't quite comprehend, understand, I couldn't get it, right? But once I finally tapped into the fact, or the theory, all right, I allowed my mind to even just play with the fact that this is a theory. If this is a possibility, there are infinite possibilities that exist simultaneously, all at once, constant superposition. If my focused awareness or my observation collapses all of the other outcomes into one definite outcome, let us experiment with focusing on my desired outcome and seeing how that works out, no matter what. I don't care what pops up. So when it came down to revision, I also had the infinite reality theory in the back of my mind, okay? Hold on, guys. We're getting there. When I imagine the infinite reality, parallel realities, I kind of imagine just we're stacked upon one another, or even like the infinite cubes or all the atoms, right? That are right here in front of us, but we can't physically see them with our own human eyes. But I would imagine that on like a macrocosm scale. And then I'd imagine that I'm just shrinking myself down into this perception, right? This little perception bubble. But when I say I'm this now, and I'm in this reality where SP acts like this, I'm literally like jumping into that reality. Like my spirit is just going, my consciousness is just going right into that like reality where that is true already. And a lot of these realities, they look very, 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 very similar, right? We have infinite realities. So I'm sure that like as close as they are together, they look more similar, and the farther and farther on the scale, they look different. But I'm just shifting through these realities or these bubbles. I'm literally just going here, and I'm trying to stay there in this focused awareness long enough for this to physically collapse, so it can materialize my actual desired outcome. But I'm already in that place. I'm in that the the timeline, the reality where that's unfolding to me already. I just need to maintain that awareness, because the second I say this isn't happening, I go back to that one reality where it's not happening anymore. And that's already my dominant place of resting. So obviously I'm going to see more evidence of it not happening, because if I'm dominantly assuming that it's not there, then that's what I'm going to receive. So we say, I am this, SP is this way. We jump right there into that reality and we stay there. What does that have to do with revision? How does it have to do with revision, Brigitte? Tell me, please tell me, okay? And I'm going to tell you. So instead of thinking like, out of all of these realities that there are to choose from, no matter how you choose to see it, this past already happened, okay? The one that you are trying to change and revise, it already happened on this timeline. And instead of trying to go back into this past and change things around in there, you just go boop. And from here, you imagine and you remember correctly what happened along this timeline where that actually never happened. So for me, I imagine, instead of trying to change the memory that came up, okay? For me, I imagine a blank space. Instead of engaging with this memory, I would observe it, I'd let it pass. I would, mentally decree, like, listen, that's not me, that's the past, that's the old awareness, that's the old reality, I don't live there anymore. No, it's this way. And then from that place of being, I would also be aware and bring to my awareness and my imagination, because if we all say, I don't imagine, but like, listen, if you are fearing a future outcome or you're dwelling on a past memory, you're imagining. So however you do that, however that works for you, do it now in your favor, where, okay, from this person who I'm claiming to be, this version of me, this one of infinite versions of me, from this version that has what I want, or I know is going to have what I want, okay, from this version, what would have happened here instead of what happened down here? The Titanic, Eric's powerful and very wide known, analogy of the Titanic already sank, okay? Titanic sank. Up here, in this reality, Titanic maybe never sank. So what did that look like? What did that outcome look like? Operate from that perception. Give yourself in your mind, instead of this happening, I'm creating a brand new scene. Whether that's, if you need extra help, a guided meditation can help you, or just scripting or affirming. But instead of trying to change something here, we're tapping into all the infinite possibilities everywhere else. And we're saying, okay, instead of that, I'm actually the version of me that where that never happened, this happened instead. And this is also the law of assumption that we're utilizing here, okay? So you don't need proof or evidence of this. You are the proof. You are the evidence. Once you say this, I am this now, you are the proof. Not the outside, not the external, you are the proof. You don't need proof of, did I do it correctly? You have to know you've done it correctly, that everything you do is the right thing to do. Everything you do works. It's not, you do it and then you go straight to this person's face, like, any changes? Do you feel different? Do you remember that thing? And they're like, the fuck? Okay? So when we're revising, we're not changing that past. We're allowing ourselves the freedom to forgive and actually allow ourselves to forget or replace that that part of our identity that no longer serves us. Okay, if we continuously revisit this past and identify with this past that does not serve us, we keep copying and pasting that into our eternal now. So if you are starting to understand, we're going to talk about, why does this work? What's in it for me? A lot of us kind of wonder, why should I revise? Like, I don't want to revise. I don't want to change that. Well, if you keep returning every day to these doubts and these fears and these spirals, and they're stemming from these unfavorable memories that keep making you feel this way, then maybe you should give yourself the freedom to forgive and forget the past. Because if you keep fucking living in that past, in your now moment, you keep feeding that to yourself. Like social media, like when you stay on a post that you don't like and you engage in it, and you go and scroll later, you're gonna see another post that you don't like because you sat there and you engaged. And the more you engage with something or you identify with something, the more of it you're gonna get. It comes down to that being very, very simple. It's just that simple. We're choosing the awareness that we want to maintain now. Okay? We're not choosing to operate as this version of us that things never went our way, we were never chosen, love was hard to maintain, love was hard to get, money was hard to get, we had to work super hard for money, we had to earn our love, we had to earn our loyalty. We're done operating from that identity, okay? That is all down here. And now we are here in this reality, okay? We're here. Allow yourself to at least ponder that, because that freed me. That freed me, because then I was literally like, oh, like, even if I did doubt myself or spiral or live in an old memory, I'd be like, oh, actually, girl, this happened. Remember when this happened? And I would bring to my awareness the new memory that I created, whether that was through a guided meditation and I was imagining, reconciliation or the checks coming in or me moving out, stuff like that, okay? Like I had things that I didn't necessarily love the way they looked, and I did have to live in that reality for a little bit. Absolutely, things were still in my face for a while, but the more that I stopped identifying with it and living and allowing myself to embody, like, no, this is who I am now. Remember, this happened instead. Remember, this person said this. Whether I saw that as that happened in the past or that happened in the future and I time traveled and I knew what was about to happen next, okay, I gave it to myself. And instead of continuously returning to an unwanted memory, an unfavorable memory, I genuinely just said, no, this is what I'm choosing now. This is who I am. That past, I don't live in that reality anymore. I live here now. This happened instead. And I know that because this happened, this is going to happen. So then my logical mind said, okay, cool. Fine. That's fine. Sure. And everything else, God, infinite intelligence, subconscious mind, whatever you want to call it, everything that I did worked. Everything that I said was yes. So if I kept saying in my imagination that this happened instead, my subconscious mind was like, yeah, sure, go ahead. And if that's if you need to, use the subconscious mind as something that helps you understand. Because again, there's no separation from any of this stuff. It's just you. It's just you and your awareness, okay? Return to that. If you forget, if you fall off, if you get triggered, that's fine. Just jump right back in. You're right on the horse. You're not starting over. We're picking right back up where we left off, where it's not like, oh my gosh, like I just spiraled, I just doubted, like this means I'm gonna have to wait longer. No, slap yourself, however you need to do that, whether that's with like, however you need a little zhuzh, that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna give it to yourself. Why does this work? Because again, we're copying and pasting into our now eternal now moment. And if we keep saying this happened, it has to happen. Or if we keep saying this is who I am now, internally, right? The world has to reflect that to you externally. If the world is your mirror and you understand that, then we have this internal change. The past only exists internally. So we give ourselves the past that we would have wished to experience anyways, and we allow ourselves to accept that as our truth now. Because there's nobody here telling you that you are not allowed to accept a different past or a different outcome. We're freeing ourselves of that. We're allowing ourselves to say, no, I've always been confident. I've always been healthy in love. I've always been a master at manifesting. I've always been, great at receiving money. Whatever it is that we're manifesting, we're going to say, no, this has just been true for me forever. And if something pops up and we're like, actually, remember when I decided I don't live there anymore? It's like you're moving homes. You're just moving to a different state of being, state of consciousness in that sense. Okay? So instead of remembering the old house that burnt down, we're remembering the new house, the one that we built. It's our dream home, and we're returning to it every single time. That old memory comes up, it triggers you a little bit. It's okay. Thank you. I'm sorry. Forgive me. I love you. Apono your way through it if you need to. TFT tap your way through it if you need to. I'm all for things that help you feel better. I'm not against, you don't need this, you don't need that. No, you don't need anything. But if these things help you, absolutely allow yourself, if you feel called to do something, then go ahead and do it. Just know that everything you do works, and everything you do is going to be reflected back to you. Allow yourself to understand that, before I speak, I am heard. That's a scripture. Before you speak, you are heard. Before you ask, you are answered. And then believe you have received it and it will be yours. So first and foremost, before you ask, you are answered, and believe you have received it and it will be yours. These boil down to, it's just that simple, okay? It's just that simple. It comes down to this. Operate from your new memories. Operate from your new identity. Operate from inside your old or your new dream house. Operate from up here. We're not reacting to the old story anymore. If that old house burnt down and you've already cried your eyes out and you got your insurance claim and you moved into your new dream home and everything's going better, are you gonna be so mad if a squatter shows up on that property just to kind of say, here I am, like, we're not living there anymore, I don't care. It's probably unsafe, but I don't care. It doesn't bother me. I'm living over here now. That'll fix itself out. My problems always sort themselves out. Isn't it amazing how my problems always figure themselves out? I don't have to lift a finger. That's it. Why would I revise? Because it frees yourself of feeling guilty, feeling resentful, feeling angry, feeling sad, feeling abandoned. You can allow yourself to receive the love that you've always wanted. And you can allow yourself to feel that way now. And then the world will reflect that by giving it to you in more abundance. Feelings don't matter. You can use them in your favor. And you don't need to feel something when you're affirming, or you don't need to feel something when you're visualizing. But if you can catch a feeling, feelings can only benefit you in that sense. They don't matter. You can use them in your favor. You can always use them in your favor. If you're feeling sad, you can just give that thing to yourself. If you're feeling doubtful, you can give that thing to yourself. Imagine it. Use that infinite intelligence that you utilize to live in the past or worry about the future. Use that infinite intelligence to give it to yourself now. No, girl, it's always going to work out. And I'm using my pronouns because I'm talking to myself, technically. But I know I'm talking to plenty of you. But just give it to yourself. No, girl, I already have it right now. It's already worked out. Remember, it's working out. It's working out. However you need to reframe it. Everything always works out for me. Everything in my life is always perfect. I'm sorry about my shirt. I feel like it keeps finding a way to jiggle around. I'm like, whatever. But anyways, those subliminals, I'll post them in the comments. They work every time. Deities. Okay, moving on. When should I revise? I don't know if I feel like I've already answered this, but I'll answer it again. If you find yourself constantly going back to identifying with those memories that don't work for you, if they don't serve you, if they contradict your end, like you are claiming you're in a relationship with your SP and you keep remembering that they broke up with you and that they said they'll never be with you again. Okay, we're revising. We're going to a different reality where they never said that. We're selecting out of the infinite versions of them and the infinite versions of ourselves. We are going into that and we are going to select from there. That never happened. That was never said, and this actually was said instead. We're gonna create a new memory, and we're gonna say that instead. We're gonna live from that instead. We're not gonna keep going back to the old memory and but this, but this that happened with your consent, with your conscious consent. Because before, when we were in this situation that it turned out to be unfavorable, and maybe we're manifesting them back, or we're manifesting a different outcome, whatever it may be, but when that happened, we might not have been so aware of the assumptions and the thoughts and the ways that we were identifying with negative things that didn't serve us, okay? So forgive yourself and go and select a different story, and then remember correctly from your moment to moment, day to day life. If those old ones come up, no man, it's this way now. No man, it's this way now. And I want to go into just the last few things for those of us like me who did have that religious trauma, okay, and felt like manifesting was wrong. Manifestation is literally in the Bible. It's just all written all over the Bible. Sorry, my baby. It's written all over the Bible. So Isaiah 43:18-19. Forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? So once you revise, perceive things to be from that revised state of being, okay? When you revise, that's what we're doing, okay? We're gonna perceive it from that state of being, from that state of already having, or that thing never having happened, all right? And then Joel 2:25. I will restore to you the years the locust has eaten. Okay? You are allowed to revitalize and get back those things that you might feel, that old awareness the locust had taken from you. You can select a new awareness now where these things happen for you still, and you still get what you want, okay? One more scripture for you. 2 Corinthians 5:17. If anyone is in Christ, they are a new creation. The old has passed away. Behold, the new has come. Period. If anyone is in Christ, I am. My I amness. I am this. I am that. SP is this. Your source. You are not separate from source. We are not separate from God. We are not separate from infinite intelligence. When you step into your I am this. I am that. You are always in your I am, by the way, but when you are consciously choosing to perceive this and be in your I am, that is your highest regard, okay? You are in Christ. You are a new creation now. You are new, brand new. This moment, this eternal moment is now new for you, okay? The old has passed away. It doesn't exist unless you bring it to life again in your awareness, your I am awareness, in your Christ imagination, your Christ-like imagination. Come on. Your divine power. I lied. There's one more. Job 22:28. You will also decree a thing, and it will be established for you. So light will shine on your ways. All right? It will be established for you. Decree a thing, and it will be established for you. Believe you have received it, and it will be yours. Before you speak, you are heard. Before you ask, you are answered. Okay? And don't forget, we are allowed to select and forgive, okay? A lot of us get that whole, I will forgive, but I won't forget. Baby girl, allow yourself to forget. And remember anew, remember correctly. Give yourself something that actually serves you in your now moment and in your desired reality, in your desired outcome. Revise. If something pops up in your day, you know, day to day, and you don't like what happened before you go to sleep at night, you imagine something else happened, and then you're like, thank you so much, my problems have fixed themselves, and you go to sleep. And you go to sleep in the identity where everything is already good, and you wake up in the identity where everything is already good, and you will see these things be reflected back to you. Revision allows you to free yourself of this one limited past, where you have that limited now moment and you have that limited future, okay? Revise, revise, revise. Create a new memory. Leave the old one alone. Stick to the new memory and stay there. This is who you are now. You are not that thing anymore. Once you've seen it in your mind's eye, once you've desired it, once you've seen it, once you've done whatever you want to do, it is done. You've done enough. Everything you do works. If you want to do more on it just to make yourself feel better, you absolutely can. But once you feel confident You don't even need to feel confident. You could visualize for 0.5 seconds. And that implication alone is enough. Because again, before you speak, you are heard. Before you ask, you are answered. So you don't need to wonder, is this enough? Do I need to specify more? Your desire in and of itself is a promise already, and it's already fulfilled. Creation is already finished. My Father's house has many mansions. So there are infinite realities, there are infinite possibilities to choose from, and you are allowed to perceive, experience, have, do, be anything that you want. All right, so that is my take today. I am a little bit rushed because I have a call to get onto, but I did want to come on here and yap. I've been promising you guys a solid video, and here it is. I hope you absolutely enjoyed it. I will be, trying to work on the going live thing. I'm still gonna figure that out. You guys can ask me questions live when I figure that out. But until then, you can sign up with coaching for me if you want. But again, you really don't need you don't need coaching at the end of the day. It's just you versus you. You make your own rules and you choose to perceive things in your favor. Select the stories and the meanings that work for you, and know that you are heard. Know that it is done. And that is all. It's already yours. It's meant to be yours. If you want it, it means it's already yours. You already got it. So again, like I said, if you want to sign up for coaching with me, I'll happily help you with your specific circumstances. And other than that, I know we're gonna have an amazing day, and I will see you guys on the other video.